Which customs and traditions do you think you were raised more by? African American or Filipino?
Well, my parents split at a young age. They split shortly after I was baptized, and for the most part, the majority of my life, I was raised by my father, the African American side.
Okay, and what were some of those customs and traditions that he passed on to you?
Well, I was raised in an African American household. I had mainly African American friends. I seen my mother on holidays and on trips to visit her side of the family,
Mm-hmm.
and that was my interaction. It was limited to my Filipino side of the family at that, for the most part.
Okay, and then growing up, were you ever did you ever feel that you were forced to pick a I guess a cultural group to choose? Did you feel like you had to be more African American than Filipino and vice versa?
Mine was more like having it was split because I was living in an African American household and I was visiting the Filipino side. So
Okay.
I was more African American, I guess, when I was in my household, but when I went to the Filipino side is where I experienced the traditions and um, tried to live by those.
And are there any customs or traditions that you continue to do today that you use on your own children?
Um, the African American side of the family that I grew up on was no back talk and do what I say, and if not, and I pretty much dealt with my kids like that too, and I haven't had many problems with them.
Well, that's good to hear. So, the next thing we're going to talk about is some stereotypes, and I've actually taken the time to look up online a few stereotypes that they have for Filipino men and also for black men or the African American men. So the first one we have is Filipino men are unfaithful. How do you feel about that one?
I've been unfaithful the majority of my life until probably the last 7 to 10 years of my life, and I always thought it was the black side of my family that I blamed it on, but I guess I'm cursed on both sides at this point.
Oh wow, that kind of sucks. So another one they have is that Filipino men suffer from gambling and drinking addictions.
I drink occasionally, and I don't like to get drunk to the point where I don't remember what I was drinking or where I was. So.
Okay.
And gambling, if I go to Reno and I spend 3 days out there, I have a $20 budget a day. If I win, I can gamble with the winnings or I can put them away, and the next day I have $20 more to gamble with. I don't really like gambling, but if I'm in a gambling area, I know how to take care of it as far as keeping myself from going off the deep end.
Okay, well that's good. You know, it just proves to show that stereotypes are just that. They're stereotypes.
Stereotypes I try to avoid. Stereotypes, if you don't have a direction in life and you feed into stereotypes, then you will be led down those avenues, and I just try to avoid them.
That's a nice perspective. Now, some we have for the African American are that all African Americans can sing.
I can't sing. I could rap.
Okay,
Well, I
well,
thought I could.
and then
You
we
hear
have maybe later.
Okay.
Next we have is that all
Are you gonna
African
tape it?
all African American people can run fast.
They can run faster than me. Half of me. I think I got a fast foot and then a short leg. I don't know. I mean, I'm 6 foot tall, but there's not a lot of 6 foot tall Filipinos, so I
Right.
think
So who
one of
knows?
my legs is Filipino. I don't know how the half splits. If they do it at the waist or if they go from head to toe. So
Right.
I'm still trying to figure that out, and I'm 40.
And what about this one? That all African Americans eat watermelon.
I'm allergic to it. It
Oh
makes me feel
wow.
like I have to vomit if I eat a piece of watermelon, I may feel like I have to vomit for an hour and a half. So it's not a good trade-off for me.
Well, I guess we won't be giving you any.
You know,